at ptlarts.com. I'm in my studio again, look, and I've got a cap on like him up there. It's like him up there. It's Leonard Cohen. Well, I hope you can recognise it's Leonard Cohen. There's one I'm working on behind me there, which I think you saw in the last video. I'm much happier talking in my studio than my office, to be honest. So I take my cap off. There we are. It's much nicer now, the weather. So like I'm holding my guitar, look at this, Telecaster. Because I'm going to be making some music in a minute. Right, okay, so I just want to talk more about creativity because, like, you know, it's all very well talking about selling paintings online, but you've got to make the bloody things first. And with that, you need a bit of inspiration, motivation, or whatever. So more stories, more about me and where I'm at, and also where my little notes are. So I tried to make these notes so there's some sort of coherence in what I'm saying, and because I do go on. The thing is, in my office, I've got a great big screen, and that helps. So I've got a small screen here. Right, okay, I'm just arranging my notes. So PTL Arts at ptlart.com, and here we go. I'll just put my distance glasses on. Yeah, so I wear two pairs of glasses. I used to have, like, for ages, I had these varifocal glasses, and I ran into all sorts of trouble when I started painting, eventually discovering that varifocals are actually not only good for painting. Long and short of it. So you're an artist. What's your genre? What do you do? You're a painter like me, or like a trained graphics designer, type artist that is, or you do like realistic painting, which is like amazing. But you know, it just really takes a long time. Like all these different disciplines take different time, don't they? And have different skills to them. And what's linked to these different skills is different types of mindset, I guess. So like, are you a printer maybe, or like a sculptor with your hands, and are you a conceptual artist, or are you, you know, what is it you do? There's a massive list of artists, inverted commas. So selling artwork online rather than just paintings. I just talk about paintings because that's what I'm trying to sell online. So there are so many creative activities, aren't there? Like music, hence guitar. I play guitar and keyboards. I've done that more than I've done anything else. But I've never really, it's silly, isn't it? I've never done it seriously. I've really been disorganized in the way that I do it. Maybe, you know, all of this will help me get more organized with my music as well. I hope so. I still do performance and stuff now and then, and it's all a bit left field out there. So there are so many creative activities for human beings, you know, I just can't understand, right? So how is it there's this notion that not everyone is creative? I mean, who dreamt that up? It's a bit like saying there's no life on any other planet in the universe. Now, some people believe that. Are they going to be able to prove it? No. And is that likely? In my estimation, it's highly unlikely. It's more than highly unlikely. I can't. Anyway, the whole thing is, I just can't fathom that people somehow haven't got something that they're creative about. So now we know like things that genes are like blueprints. So you don't get it in your genes. All of that stuff isn't true. And it's like the environment and around it that creates whatever it is that the gene does. So even that is not completely common knowledge, but there's enough scientific evidence now to prove that it is the case. But like with everything, with science, you know, it needs to be proved before people actually, you can actually say, well, it's been proved. And then, of course, it can be disproved, can it? It can be like later on, like the understanding can develop even further. So in itself, that is creative, isn't it? Even that, the thought process of getting your head around this kind of thing. So surely life itself is the most creative reality, and we all have it, don't we? Well, we all have this life within us, and that's creative. The very nature of it. It has to be, otherwise we wouldn't be able to survive. I mean, we're changing all the time, aren't we? So while we have it, why not use it to its greater potential? And making that decision significant, I believe. This gets confusion. This gets confusing, doesn't it? How can we develop a life where we are utilizing our senses and allowing ourselves to grow continually? I think the action of making artwork really helps us to improve our connection with our potential, and also gives us a greater insight to our well-being. To be honest, I feel very fortunate, even while working lots for many years to pay the mortgage and feed the family. In my spare time, I've always chosen to do something creative rather than watch the telly or passive stuff like, oh, I must have a rest. Maybe I should have done sometimes, but that's just me. When I moved into our present house in 1992, I had an Atari computer, 1 megabyte computer, and that I could make music on. Unfortunately, I've only recently become organized enough to keep any record of the music I've made over the years, but I've made loads of it. And I still am. In other words, lots of projects over the years have like gone astray because of defunct hardware up there. I haven't really kept it. In other words, like a lot of artists, I think a lot of artists in any genre tend to move on to a new, I don't know, with you know, a new computer for a start. So I haven't got that Atari anymore. So consequently, the things I can do with the technology now is just sort of, you know, I've forgotten all about what I did then, apart from the actual playing of the instruments, like the guitar, which is the same process now as it was then. It's just that I've got access to much more powerful sounds. But I still need to discipline myself to really get it together, like I'm doing with my painting and sorting out the business. So I do have doubts, and selling paintings online is not something that I am yet an expert at. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm looking at how to build relationships online, however, like I'm doing now, that will nourish and cultivate trust. So you've got to trust me. Look, I mean, what a nice guy, ish. Yeah, I'm not a bad bloke. Anyway, I'm looking to build these, nourish and cultivate trust so that I can share my skills and my work to a greater number of people, and realize that that is a greatest way for me to develop my artwork. And also, yeah, like I say, I want to really get this music side of things organized. So last year, for example, in November, I was fortunate enough to be in a show called The Seven Ages, which is based on a speech from the play by Shakespeare in a really nice venue. About a few hundred people came over a period of 7 performances, I think 500 in, and it was fantastic. And I was musical director, never done that before, and I did have to be organised. So it's really made me valued yet another skill that I can share with others. But I feel they're all combined. I feel it's like there isn't, I don't have to give one up, but then at the same point, I need to take priority. What I am finding is at this stage of like trying to organize my business as an artist, hopefully music's going to be part of it as well somehow, then, you know, I have to get rid of the buggeration factor. So the fact that try and minimize the things that are going to stop me actually producing stuff, producing content, doing this, building up the trust with my audience. So like I'm trying to do, so I'm picking, if you like, 3 aspects of what I've been talking about a lot over the last series of videos, which I'm sure you've all subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, okay, I mean, you're watching me now, subscribe. I'm not going to do anything to you, except for maybe entertain you, make you laugh, and make you think about some things, and you can make me think about some things, hopefully. Anyhow, so, what was I saying? Yes, so the things that I really want to do, for example, what I want to do is make a painting for you. So if you like Leonard Cohen, but you haven't got enough room for that painting, or you like a painting of Leonard Cohen in when he's younger, blah, 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 and you've always wanted to have a painting of Leonard Cohen, and you'd love to have a real original image done by me because you like my work, then let me know and I can do it. Then we have a chat to decide what size you want it, even like what kind of dominant colour scheme you want to suit your house or whatever it is. Like greys are really good, by the way, because they tend to go anyway, like the greys. So like that particular painting would actually fit pretty well anywhere, for example. Anyway, so how can how can I do that? Well, first off, I want to know whether you like my work and whether you want me to do it. And then maybe it's a present for you or for somebody else. Then I paint it. If you decide whether you still want it, you buy it. If you don't want it, don't worry, I won't be upset, because I've got another painting to hang up here that somebody else might want to buy. If you don't like it at the end of the day, or you can't afford it, or you want to get it later, I'll keep it for you, because it's, you know, I want it to be yours. So like, if you get to the point and you can't pay for it, then we'll pay for it. All of that stuff, I want to do that online. Yeah. So sounds simple enough, doesn't it? Well, yes, it does. But how do I do it online? This is what I'm learning to do now. And as soon as I can, I'll share it with you, what I've done with you all, you know, and share how you can do it. So like, it's about building trust. I think it's lots of conversations. It's lots of engagement. It's like a YouTube channel. Oh, I seem to have one. Subscribe, please. Thumbs up if you like what I'm talking about. If you're not interested, well, you wouldn't have watched this far anyway, would you? I've got to be entertaining, haven't I? So I've got this idea that I want to make music that I can paint to when I'm doing Facebook Live. So I stop living talking, let people watch me paint and just say a thing now and then, and have music playing as well, that I've made the music. So I'm not trying to sell it. I wouldn't try to sell it. It's just, you can't play tracks on Facebook Live because it just stopped you broadcasting. Anyway, That's me. Bonkers. I know I'm bonkers. But thank you very much, and see you on the next video. Bye.